Hey, it's Danny Tato, and welcome to a new game we're going to be playing today called Ostriv. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. This is a great game, kind of a town building, kind of in the early times. Specifically, this is meant to be in the style of like Ukrainian villages back in the day. And this is actually developed by a one-man team, so that's always like super awesome to see, and it's great. It's just very fun. It's currently in Alpha 5, it says here, so version 0.5. So it's on its way to being released, and there's updates, slowly, but it's still happening, even though I'm 90% sure the developer still lives in or has very strong connection to Ukraine, despite everything going on there. So pretty impressive that he's able to keep up with this. So this is it's a slow paced kind of game. The music feels a little loud, doesn't it? I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. I think that's better. Very much more like slow paced, like a lot of resource management, and also like economy and like labor management as well, in a very interesting way. Not just like it's similar to, but also very distinct from a game like Banish. It actually surprised me playing a few test games, just how in depth this actually goes. So we're gonna start a new game here. It does start with a few maps. There's 9 of them right now. I think I'm gonna go with the unlimited iron ore. That's just kind of the way I've gone. And it immediately starts you off. I'm gonna pause it. It doesn't really matter, but. And you can see you have a pretty large map here. There's not a whole lot of customization of the maps, and I believe they are kind of the same map over and over again. So he's put out a few of these different types of maps. Hopefully in the future there's some sort of like procedural generation of the maps. I always love that, having something completely brand new each time. It's always pretty cool. What is that? Can I not click it? Okay. So yeah, you got trees, you got the kind of rolling hills, you have a nice river that you use quite a bit for various different things. Different deposits, that's snow over there. You get, there should be some stone. Yeah, some stone over here, which we can click. So maybe this is snow. That must all be all that is. Yeah. I thought it was like limestone or something. So it looks like winter's just ended. We're in March, so yeah, early spring, as we tend to start with games like this. And then you kind of look around and you can kind of pick your starting point based on the resources around and whatnot. And again, pretty big map, especially when we start playing. You can see a faint red line here that kind of divides the actual playable area, but it is very large considering all the size of the buildings and everything. You don't use a lot of the map. I played for several hours before, and I basically just covered like this section right here and not even all of it, and then like I'd crossed the river a little bit, and that was several hours of play. It is a deliberate and slow kind of game. If you're trying to like get into something where you're just gonna click and go and you're gonna have 1,000 people right away, that is not how this works. So you do have to be a little patient and as it starts off. So I'm gonna start I think around here, close enough to the water, and that little starter set of trees will be nice without actually being like blocked in by trees. I mean, we could, I don't know, I think I want to avoid the hill too much. I think what we'll do is we'll do like a settlement area here, and then maybe do some of our like farming and stuff up here, and like agriculture type deal. So let's get this put a little bit away from the trees so we can build a forestry, because that's what we're gonna have to do first. The game kind of guides you into things. So first you place your camp. This is like a starter kind of setup, where basically you have several tents kind of on the outside where these families are living. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. You have a temporary storage here full of some iron, nails, and thatch that you're going to use as your starter supplies. Once you use all these supplies, it does get rid of the tent there. We have some carts here, as you can see. Start off with 3 carts, which is nice. Again, we can upgrade this or build better versions of this that hold more slots for more carts. And then we have our camp center, which is kind of like our town center, right? Again, temporary, but allows us to hire builders. It also shows our mayor here, Oleski. So that's pretty cool. And then there's like a little campfire here with some places to sit and a well. And that's basically it, kind of what you start off with. Everyone has some supplies with them and whatnot. So we're going to start off here with building a forestry right off the bat. And so rotate some buildings here, use an R. And I'm going to place this pretty close to the forest over here and the trees. So we'll start building that. And the best part of this game is what you're about to see. So I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to kind of let you watch. So let's make sure we have builders. Our builders have set up. You can see they got to get their carts, bring everything over here. And this is the best part of the game right here. Well, I don't know about the best part of the game, but this is my favorite. Just such a great attention to detail kind of thing. So they're going to do like every other game. They have all these resources they need. We need a bunch of wood, so we're bringing that over. But notice what they're doing here as they're building this. Putting down some like foundation kind of columns here. A tiny bit. Don't want to go too fast too early because there are some pretty critical things you got to do. So don't be afraid to take it slow, and then as you're building, you can kind of speed it up and watch. But look at... They are completely, like, hand-building this building. You can see here the different resources, kind of like what phase. You know, okay, right now we need wood and nails, and then a little bit of work. And then more wood, more nails, and a little bit of work. So on and so forth. So they've laid the kind of foundation, the raised foundation here. Now they're putting all their cross beams and the walls. Now they're getting the roof going. Let me slow this down just a little bit so you can kind of appreciate it. There we go, and it's done. So they literally build every part of the building. It's pretty great. I don't know, it's just a nice little feature to watch all these different buildings get built. They are very procedural as well, like especially when they build the homes, you'll notice that. And there's really good customization options as well, you'll see. Let's put the clay pit right next to the forestry. That's kind of a necessary, very important component. So we'll get that going. And then after we get that clay pit going, we're going to have to build houses. And we have to get all our families housed before winter. And you can see it's already March. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to build kind of like a... uneven. So this says uneven, like I can't build it here, right? However, if you hit F1 while you're placing, let me pause this for a second. This allows you, if you can see here, oh, it's not here anymore, but F1 allows you to customize. So I can, you know, change how big their garden plot is and whatnot. You know, make all kinds of weird shapes to fit things or just make it weird. But you can also move the actual placement of the house within here. And you can notice I can move it here, and the arrow went away. I can place this. I can also rotate it and like put it here. And you can see how the entrance of the actual plot connects to the entrance of the house. So as long as there's a valid, you know, if I move this and block the entrance, it's going to complain that you block the entrance. So I think I'll do something like that. So you can walk in here, and then they can have this whole garden-y plot around it. You can hit enter, and it will build it. Now, the thing here is when you build these houses, it's a village house with a garden. And if you look here, this is a lot of information here, but if a house has a garden, its owners can use it to grow food for sale or for personal consumption. The bigger the garden, the more they can grow. The products from citizens are purchased in granaries and trading posts. Pretty cool. There's also land tax. I mean, there's so much information here. We're not going to go through all of it. We'll get to it as we kind of progress. But yeah, so we need to build basically a bunch of these. This is a nice little copy building tool, which every builder should have. If you're making a building game, please allow that to be a button like early on in your game. It's so convenient. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to kind of place it with F1 and then just move the house a little bit. I'm going to put this one a little further back just to, you know, keep things different. And just kind of keep going. Now you can also shift click and just like create the same building again. And I love this like auto like snap feature, how it connects and kind of makes it a nice line. Always nice to see that. Oops, I hit the wrong button here. Hold on. Let's try to make it kind of straight. It's not going to be perfect. But yeah, I'm going to do this. Again, uneven terrain, so I'm going to F1 and just try to find, there we go. Even it out a little bit. Boom. Done. Got that one. Let's do another one. Do it the same way here. That one I'll leave in the middle, just for variety. And just kind of keep going. Here I'm going to leave a little space so we can do kind of a little thoroughfare kind of in between road here. So this one will go here. It's F1. Let's see. I'll put it like, see, kind of can put like in the middle, or let's do a slanty one. That's different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we need more. Do another one on the other side just to keep it kind of in the same vein here. The music is also, I absolutely love the music in this game. I know I turned it down, but that's not because I don't like it. It's just, you know, making sure things are balanced. Alright, so we have a bunch of buildings we're building right now. That's great. We're going to let the houses kind of go. Again, you can see they build the foundation. They're saying... Oh, I forgot to hire my workers. Let's hire 2. You need 2 in order to cut down wood. You need to have at least 2. You can always have a third one who then saws it, you know, while they're out cutting the wood, but it's fine. I forgot to do that. That's my bad. That'll slow things down just a tiny bit, but they should get on it pretty fast. So here you can see what resources they're allocating. So here they're awaiting 1 log, and they're chopping it down. You can see on top of the screen. And now they put it over here for processing. Now they're going to take it inside and process it into actually usable planks. Wonderful. And then it'll get carried out to here by my builders. They'll come get a cart, load it up, and bring it here. So it's pretty cool how just how modular everything is. There's so much, you know, sort of customization you can do. Even at this point in alpha, so I wonder how much other stuff they're going to add with that. And it's a lot of it's procedural. Like, they choose what vegetables or trees or shrubs or whatever they grow. Sometimes you'll see some beautiful like wildflowers grow as well, like right in front of the house, separately from their garden. And it's a way for them to get fed by themselves as well, or even earn some money themselves. Every family, well, look here, they have a wealth for the family. So these guys have $32 right now. And their income is $2.50 based on their employment. That'll change. And then there's also like taxes that I can levy on them to make sure that we maintain money. That was something I ran into kind of mid-game, I would call it maybe, where I was, you know, said I'm doing well. I was like, oh, I'm getting the hang of this, easy. And all of a sudden I realized I had no money left. And it was because I was paying a lot of wages out all the time. And when you make a town center, you can actually do like seasonal labor where you like change what building hires how many people during what months. So you can have months where, like, say if there's something that uses the river, like a fishing dock or something, you can't fish in the winter. So why pay people to be fishermen during the winter, right? So you can set it during the winter months when this is all frozen over that you don't pay, you don't have any workers there at the time. And that frees up labor for other things that might be able to be done during this winter. Like, you know, maybe my forestry needs some more stuff to cut more firewood, or I need, you know, more farmers for something or whatever it may be. And you can kind of change that, and that helps also balance the books. That's kind of the big thing. You can also see your resources here, which is nice. The other big part is, of course, your settlers will have babies. This white line, we're going to ignore this for a little bit. I will reload for the next episode. I read this. Whenever there's a pathing error, rather than have it be hidden behind the scenes, the developer decided to make it visible so we can report why this is happening, because it was a bug he was noticing. And it tends to always happen when I place a building. There's some sort of pathing error, and it doesn't go away unless you reload. So I'll reload in between episodes. So just kind of ignore it for now. But yeah, so they'll have children. So let's see if we have anyone who already has children. So these guys have 2 kids right now, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. But also you get migrants. And if you look here, the migration status, so I'm allowing migration. However, all of these sort of needs have to be fulfilled before anyone will migrate. You need to have enough water, so your water supply is sufficient. Right now we have 1 well, and that's more than enough for what we have going on. I don't have a market, so that's a problem, so I need to build a market. We'll do that in a little bit. I have no extra housing right now, of course. I have a bunch of people in tents, so that's not going to attract anybody. I have no extra jobs posted, so there's no, like, no one waiting. There's people waiting for jobs and no extra jobs waiting for people. And then I don't need any entertainment buildings quite yet because it's early on, and I don't have any religious buildings, but that's fine because it's early on. So, of course, those things will change eventually. But that's what we're looking for. So once all those things are green, we will eventually get migrants to fill up our new houses. So that's kind of how that works. You just have to be careful with growing too fast, even though this game is, you know, a little bit slow in the speed of things, like sort of the progression. It is something you do have to keep an eye on. So I'm going to try and build a couple more this way. Let's see. I've built 6, and I think I need 9. So I'm going to make another kind of lane. Or, know what? Let's do it. No. I'm not going to do that. Let's just build another kind of back road right here. F1. Let's see if I can get this to place somewhere. Might not be able to here. It's a pretty steep hill. You just gotta kind of play with the angle sometimes. Sometimes you just can't do it, and that's fine. You just gotta find a new spot, and I feel like that may be the case here. Let's try one more thing here. No, it's not gonna work, I don't think. Yeah, that's a pretty tough spot. Alright, what's a better spot? I could put it here. Actually, let's do a couple Yeah, let's do a couple over here. Do something like this. Just so satisfying, like moving the house itself, especially when it would be like something you can't build this here, you know, and then all of a sudden you can because you moved it to the right spot. Hit the wrong button again. Something might not work either. It's too steep. So that's the annoying thing with the hill, but it's the way it is. All right, we'll keep it down here. We'll keep our neighborhood going. Let's put this one. Weird. Pretty good. Let's just, I don't know. Let's put you here. You can face the river. Boom. Done. I think I need one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, we're fine. I think that gives us, that might even give us one extra. 2 here, and I need 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I need one more. I can count. This will work. Maybe I'll just do it. Oh, I rotated the wrong way. Maybe I'll just do it this way. And the nice thing is, if you don't like the way it looks, like this one's a little janky, I'm gonna just straighten this out a little bit. But I'll give you a little extra space for some more gardening stuff. And then again, I always rotate the wrong way. Put you here. Love it. All right. Now I have enough place, and that I know because now it gives me this other tooltip where you can do decorations. Pretty cool. Trees, you know, arches, posts, birdhouse, things like that. I'm just gonna post, you know, a bench or two. Call it a day for now. We'll decorate much more when we get the feel of how our town's kind of shaping up. So, let's see. Put you there. Let's do some bushes. Let's do lilac. Let's do lilac. Oh, can I not? Is it not a building? Is that why? Or am I just not clicking it right? All right, that's annoying. But what you can do is you can hold shift. Place stuff for you. Ah. I don't want you guys, I want the bench, but that's fine. I'll just click it over here. Do a couple more benches. Forgot to hold shift. Do a different type of bench here. There, I've got some nice little areas to sit. And they construct immediately, they don't actually build those, so negative points for realism. Alright, so these guys, I have 15 logs here, they got 14,000 pieces of wood, 10,000 pieces of firewood. So they work pretty fast, it's really good. The next thing we're gonna have to build, I believe, and I'm gonna wait a little bit to do it. They may ask me to do a farm first, but what I'll need is, I can't remember what it's called. Is it the blacksmith? I think it's the blacksmith. Yeah, no, it's back this way. The smithy, right? Yeah, they make the tools and the nails. You need that pretty early on because every building requires nails. So if I click the next building they're working on, this one, you can see they need 80 some nails to start it. Now you start off with a few nails, 1,000 over here, you know, we have left. So that'll cover our houses, but we're gonna have to build more if we want to build anything after that. So we'll get that going pretty soon. I also need a thatchery. That's what I was looking for. The thatchery makes thatch. Pretty simple. I'm gonna put it over here because they also use reeds for the work that they do. So I'll just kind of I'll put it, at least the reeds will be behind them. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'll just put them over here because we're gonna be building houses over here. It looks like. So I get that. That'll get that done. This is your queue for the buildings you're making. You might have noticed it. I forgot to point it out. And what's cool is you can kind of move things around and be like, no, I want my thatchery next. But I'm gonna actually build 2 houses and then do my thatchery because I think we have a good amount of thatch, and I don't know. They require 420. Blaze it. They require 420 thatch, so so we should be fine for a couple, and then we'll just build it to get it built, and that way we can start employing more people and get the thatch going, so we don't actually run out. So, again, it's just like so zen. I just love like just placing buildings, just leaving it here and watching them with like the background going on. Get rid of the map here. Sounds are great. You got the birds. It's not too bad, like too loud. You got the hammering and everything. The sounds are just like people moving around. Could probably add some more ambient sounds. I'm sure that's in the works. But you definitely hear the working sounds, which is great. There we go. Getting the roof. Cross beams. They might not even be called cross beams. I'm probably just talking about my butt right now, but. And then they put up the thatch. It's also super satisfying, like the sections going up. And we're done. More people can move in. So we're about halfway through July, and we only have 4 left. So that's pretty good. I like that. I might actually build one more before I build the thatchery. Because they're going pretty fast. They're going faster than I expected them to. And you want to get it done. It's like, if you don't get it done before, I think it's December, whenever, I don't know, it might be a temperature thing or just might be a time thing. The rest of the families just pack up and leave, and then you lose a lot of your workforce that you could have to start. And it happened once in one of my test games. I'm like, oh, let me now that I've done the tutorial a little bit, I get the idea. Let me build some of these buildings ahead of time, like that way I don't slow anything down. And I ended up not building the houses in time, and like 3 of my families left, and I was like stuck with like less. I think I ended up with like 21 or 19 people or something to kind of kick off my settlement, and yeah, that does not go well. So I love how they put like the supplies just like out in front. You got the clay, you got the thatch, you got your wood, and I guess a box of nails. Maybe that's what that is. Play going up. I could watch it all day. So yeah, so you can see these garden plots have kind of populated. Looks like they're growing like maybe cabbages. Can't tell what any of the other stuff is. And then you can see here they have like little just like flowers. Eventually you'll see these bushes like blossom later on. I guess the fall, so not a lot going on. But super cool. They actually physically move their stuff in. So tell me. Oh, you're a kid, that's why. Let me see. Does it show me who's living here? You live here. So he's having a rest, so he's going to come back. So he already loaded all the stuff in here. You'll see whoever moves into this house. Okay, you guys. You're going to see... They're resting right now. That's funny. Let's see. Oh no, you're building right away. Okay, I have seen them in the past. They're like grabbing all their stuff and loading it into the house. It's actually like one of the labors that they do, so that's pretty cool. All right, 3 left, so we're gonna build that one. I might just keep going on this housing run because we're doing a good job with it. Mid-August, so we're building more than like, a little over like 1.2 houses a month, maybe something like that. Whatever percentage, yeah, about 1.2. That's good, so we should definitely finish in time. So that's good. If you are going to play this game, be wary of the wells. You can very quick, expand a little too quickly, and then all of a sudden there's no water left. This type of well will fill slowly from the groundwater over time, but it needs a certain amount before anyone can use it. So don't be afraid to expand that as you grow. Again, another thing that happened to me. So, yeah, the quirks of learning a new game, right? So one of the nice things about this map in particular, the first map, is you have unlimited ore. So here you can see I click on the iron ore deposit, and it is got the infinity number symbol. So I can build a bunch of mines here on these ore spots, and just don't have to worry about depleting this resource. However, things like, for example, the stone over here, these are finite. So I have about 1,000 here, about 1,000 here, about 1,000 here, so on and so forth. So there's some, but it's like it runs out, and that's it. And eventually you have to trade for it. So that's kind of the pros and cons of using some of these different maps. which is interesting for sure. There's definitely trade-offs to that. However, I would still love like a procedural kind of map where like, you know, you could just have X amount of materials and, you know, just kind of roll with what you got. You know, I like Infinite. It provides a convenience. You know, you don't have to constantly trade, but and I like that you don't have Infinite of some things. But I don't know. I'd like it to be maybe more random. I love like randomization. Just like go with what you got, and you have to like adjust on the fly. I think that'd be pretty cool. Or just like a generic how many, you know, resources are around. All right, I'm gonna set one person to thatch. That's usually enough. So we'll do that. Did we build any other buildings? I don't think so. You can see here that the tents have kind of started to go away. We only have 2 left. So they built the thatchery really fast, which is awesome. And we're starting to build our next house. We only have 2 left, just these 2. And I'm going to queue up for after this our smithy. Again, I'm going to keep all our kind of industry stuff in the same like industry row right here. Uneven terrain. Come on, get out of here. You like something around here. So nitpicky. Why don't you show me where I can build? Is it just when I occupy? Yeah. It's, oh, perfect. Boom. Alright, so we got our smithy down, our annoying smithy right there. Smithy will take iron, which we start off with, thank goodness. And you will make nails. You can make metal... I forget what they're called. Metal something. Just like basically pieces of metal. Like I'm thinking like hinges and rings and just various like construction kind of tools that you need. And stuff like that. So that just keeps like your industry kind of firing. So that's good. So we're making our thatch, which is nice. Again, it goes really fast. It is not a tough industry to get going, and you really only need one person manning that. And eventually I end up changing the labor on this to like every other month or 2 months off, 2 months on, because you just don't need that much. You know, you don't need someone working there all the time. The other thing is your carts will, they have this bar down here, they will wear down. So you have to kind of keep an eye on that as you are going and maintain that. And you do that with a carpenter, which is the next thing I need to create. But we're going to let, there we go, got another house. Boom. And we're building another house. I was like, oh my god, they finished so fast. But yeah, it's this one. So another house right here. Bringing out some more wood, clay, and thatch. The cool thing too is clay is unlimited, so that's nice because you do use it for like literally, well not literally, but the vast majority of buildings you use it for. So, all right, this is our last house, and then I'm gonna set up the smithy. I'm gonna do another house, and I'm gonna see if I can fit it here again. I really feel like I should be able to. Nope, I can't. Put it as far away from there as possible. Put it there. Enter. Alright, we'll build that one. So we'll do this house they're working on, then we'll do the smithy, and then we'll do the other village house, and then I'm going to do the carpenter, which I believe is the next thing they would ask me to build anyways. So, yeah, we'll do you... Well, let's see, you want wood quite often. I'm going to put you over here. And then I think I'll put like a warehouse like in between. Like it's kind of centralized. Maybe like right here amongst all these industry things. Because the warehouse will collect those goods and put them in a central spot. And then the market will come and get them from the warehouse or the granary or whatever. So people can have a convenient spot to buy their stuff. So see, it just looks nice. Like no house is exactly the same. They're all positioned a little bit differently, even though this is like kind of a straight thoroughfare, kind of a straight line road, you know. And is this like, are these like bee houses? Like I can't tell. Like that's the only thing I can think of, but I could be wrong. Someone let me know if you know what these are. But that's what I suspect that they are. But yeah, all right, another house done. All right, now they want us to build a farm. I'm going to pause real quick just while I get that set up. And yeah, I think we're going to do farms like up on this hill up here. The cool thing is you have one central farm and then you build fields around it. So you kind of want to centralize it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to... I'll do it like this. And then, yeah, you don't build the fields until after the farm gets built, so let's get time going again. Look at that, with the smoke coming out, you got the hills in the background. So great, except for that white line, which we're not going to talk about. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes early on. You just got to get your citizens completely housed, which we have done. And then you have to build, obviously, more houses for new migrants, which is the next kind of stage you work on. You want to get more people, because very quickly you'll realize you have way more things to do and not enough hands to do them. And that becomes a problem pretty quick. So that's kind of your first step. Get migrants to arrive and bring their families here and their wealth and whatnot. So so we're going to do the smithy, another house here, and then the farm with the carpenter. Okay, that works. Completed our smithy. Let's get one person working there for now. Keep it slow. Oh yeah, metal parts. So that's what they call them. I don't know if that's what I called it, but that is actually what it's called. So there is that. And then horseshoes, which I haven't even used yet. I made them a little bit to try to like trade them, but I never actually had acquired horses yet, so never actually used them. But that's the other thing they make. All right, we're making this last house here for new villagers to think about. So the other thing I need is a market. So let's get that done. Trade and transport, market stall. Now what's cool is they're pretty small and they can each hold like 4 items. But you can build multiple like right next to each other, and you can individually set the resource you want it to have, or you can hit set resource slots automatically based on like production and things you have lying around. So we'll do that once we get our farm going. It is December. It's winter. So yeah, we got everyone inside just in time, so we didn't lose any families, which is great. And then, so here it says, build a farm to produce food for your citizens and future livestock. So I believe it's buckwheat that ends up being used for that. You can also do like hay, I forget what they're called. What's it called? A hay dryer that grabs grass and just dries it to hay, and that can be used especially during winter. But the cool thing is everything's kind of dependent on each other. When you do get things like, for example, like cows, they'll feed on hay, but you'll look at this in a minute. We'll cover this probably next episode. Your farms will run out of nutrients, and you need to fallow them. So you have to kind of do like a rotating crop kind of thing going on with all your fields. So you have like maybe one fallowed while the rest are growing, and cycle it through. The cows will go on the fallow field, and they'll use it as like a pasture, and it actually helps. It helps limit the what am I trying to say? Limit the like nutrient use. It helps it like regrow the nutrients basically when it's fallow, so it's more efficient. Okay, yeah, we need a charcoal pile. Forgot about that. In fact, I'm gonna do a couple of them, and I'm gonna try to put them like right next to the smithy if possible. Actually, they use wood. Well, it doesn't really matter though. Yeah, but they don't want it near houses. These create smoke, which is like unhealthy, obviously. So don't smoke. I'm gonna do 2. And this one, this building actually is actually really cool. So instantly places, and laborers will get hired. So people with no job or just not working, and they'll come bring all this wood down here, and you'll see they'll cover it up and just basically burn it until it turns into charcoal, and then you get a bunch of charcoal. And I forgot, yeah, your smithy needs charcoal to make things. So there's that. Carpentry is getting built, and then we'll get our farm. We have our market here. I'm gonna put a worker in there, and we need food for sale. So that's the next thing we need. So we're building our farm, and by the time it gets built and we get our fields ready to go, it should be ready to grow some crops. Time to sow the fields. And yeah, so this is where we're at. After about 30 minutes, we have all of our guys that were in tents. All of our families are now in nice house plots. They have their little vegetable gardens going, although not right now. We have our basic sort of industry set up with charcoal, smithy, carpenter just got built. Let's go ahead and set a worker there so they can repair our carts. Thatchery, all kinds of basic stuff. And now we're working on our farm. So next episode, we'll look at the farm, get the fields going, and start looking at growing some food. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoy this again, beginning of, I don't know if this is going to be a full Let's Play. We'll definitely play this out and see how it goes. Just see where the content leads us, and maybe they'll do some updates as we're playing, and we can kind of keep going. I don't know. It's kind of up to you guys. So if you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to give it a like. If you don't have to. I'm not going to cry about it. At least not, I won't admit it. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next time.